Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another special episode of Explode Your Expert Business Show. Today I'm here with the one and only our gorgeous Dilys
I
Sillah.
don't
How
feel
you
gorgeous this
doing?
morning.
Well,
I'm
you
fine, thank
are.
you.
You are. Even if you don't feel, you are. So, Dilys, before we get started, why don't you introduce yourself and then we can crack on?
Okay, so my name is Dilys Sillah. I am an author and a speaker. So I'm the author of the book Predator Prince: How to Find the Man of Your Dreams and Not Your Nightmares. And I also coach. So I work as a life coach, looking at emotional independence. So basically, helping people to be able to make decisions about their life from a place of authority, confidence, rather than a place of bad experiences that will kind of determine, the kind of life choices that they choose to make.
Brilliant. And also, you are running an amazing charity as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I run a charity called Who Will Hear My Cry. So we raise awareness on rape, child abuse, and domestic violence. And that's going through a revamp as well, actually. I've had this whole thing going on over the last month of just changing my life and different elements of it. And the charity is one of them where we really do want to concentrate
Yeah.
more on the relationship side of things, healthy relationships, which kind of culminates into some of the areas that we work in now. So that's really what I have been up to and what I do.
Brilliant, fantastic. So, guys, you have to make sure you connect with Dilys. In particular, if you are in the relationship field, then you will love to support her charity and also the work that she does. Now, today we are looking at helping you out to make more money from your events, from your seminars, and in particular, you mentioned about attracting, getting the right people to move on with you and to take
Yeah.
the next step with you. Okay,
Yeah.
so can you give us a bit of background of what? Give me a bit of context of what is the seminar you are
Yeah.
talking about, because
Mhm.
uh, your pitch and your sales strategy will change depending from if you are if it, this is your own event, if you are speaking at someone else's event,
Of
if this
course,
is a
yeah.
webinar or a podcast. So the context will determine the strategy that we're going to create.
Yeah. So one of the things that I started doing from January is this workshop called Rewriting History, which I absolutely love. And basically, this workshop is to help people look back and process map things that they have done, whether it's to do with work, relationships, career, that hasn't served them.
Yeah.
So I kind of help people to identify the common patterns that keep making them end up in the same place. And sometimes it can be so vast and so deep as to why those things keep going on. It can be quite profound. So the
Yeah.
first one that I did in January, I mean, I had people disclosing all sorts of things as to what had kind of stopped them from moving forward in different areas that, in a way that they would like to. So from those workshops, what I would really like to do, and one of the things people have complained about is that they're too short. So it's it's from like 1 to 5, and I guess there is some method to that madness. For one, the price would be a lot more
Hmm.
if it was for a full day, but it touches on so many different areas that I think working with people one on one after the workshop would be very helpful. I think for both of us. So it's really getting people to be able to take that next step so that we can work together as client and coach
That's
and kind of
brilliant.
move
So
things
they're
forward.
coming to your half a day. So they're coming
Yes.
to you, and what's the price point of that?
It was £25,
Hmm.
which is really, and I mean, gosh, I even provide refreshments. I
Yeah,
mean, who does that?
that's
So yeah, so it really is. It's a shortish day.
yeah.
There's quite a lot packed into it, but it's kind of I've started to kind of build a community around it as well. So I've been asked to have everyone that has been to the Rewriting History workshop to join together. I had a Rewriting History Spa weekend break
Yeah.
in June, which was another really good event. But just to bring people together, just to bring people together
Perfect.
and move it
I
forward.
get the model. So, so the feedback was how was the feedback about the content of the event? They were all happy about giving that. They were all happy about that. There was
Definitely, yeah.
okay,
I had
perfect.
I had great feedback. The main thing was it's too short, and I'm like, well,
Okay, good.
let's work together.
That's a good thing. That's
Yeah,
a very good thing because then they are saying I want more.
yeah,
So that's the great thing when you say it's too short. I would love this to be longer.
Exactly.
Means okay, great. So now you can pay.
Hopefully.
Right. So did you? What was your process to get them as a one-to-one client during the event, during and after the event?
During it was not so much during the event. I kind of said it at the beginning, but there would be an opportunity for us to work one-on-one. This is really to showcase, just to touch on, really to give like an overview for themselves to see what it is that they would need to be able to move things forward. So at the end of it, I did say, that there is a special price. I never really like to talk about the price itself at the end. I just said, if you're interested in one-on-one, then let's talk and take it from there.
And so, and then what happened when you say that?
I do have some inquiries. Again, I've kind of revamped a lot of things around the coaching, even price-wise, and having different models that are more, bespoke, as opposed to having a price for this and that.
Yeah.
I think really when I look at the kind of clients that I'm having and what they're presenting, I feel more comfortable in tailoring it to the individual. So that I haven't had the opportunity to do, because as I said, I've only done this, the whole stripping away thing over the last 4 weeks. So this is what I would be introducing to my next one. Why I think this would be great to do this now.
When you are mentioning when you were offering the option of that there was going to be an opportunity to work one-to-one together, did they know the price? Did they know the program roughly? Did they know? Did they have like a sales form to fill up or an application form to fill up?
No, they didn't. All they had was the evaluation form for the actual workshop and how they found it.
That's brilliant. So there are a few things that already I can see that will increase your conversion. And one is to ask for the money. That's that's the first one, because they will never be as hot as they are when they are in the room and they've just been through the entire workshop. Now, if you are the moment they leave the room is the moment where life happens.
Sure.
And then you have no more control over their attention. The great thing about workshop is that all their attention and focus is on you. Therefore, they have only one buying decision, which is you.
Correct.
And that's why you can do two things. You can decide and test two things. One is to make a special offer on the day, which are mentioning this is the program, because so this is the thing. When you're doing a special offer on the day, you cannot create something bespoke.
Correct.
Because you need, this is the program, this is how it works, this is the offer. If you join today, this is the discount, and these are the bonuses that you will get.
Sure.
So this model doesn't allow you to create something bespoke. If you're going down the bespoke model, then the thing you can do is to have an application form.
Right.
So still you have to mention a price range, and you still have to mention what's going to be an average steps. So we are going to work on this, and that, because you will find that even if it's bespoke, some people, they're always looking for the same things.
Sure.
So you are tapping into the things that you know people will want anyway.
Yeah.
And then you will say, depending on how much you need of this, then there will be different price range, starting from this one going up to this one.
Sure.
So now they have an idea of what the price range is going to be, so that will qualify, you will not get time wasters, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
But at the same time, if you mention the first one, the first price, and you create some contrast between the range that you offer, then you will see also that you have a much higher value as well.
Sure.
So that's why it's important when you're doing an application close is to mention, now the package would range from 2,000 to 10,000 or 5,000, whatever is going to be the new price range that you're going to work on. But then you will say, and then based on the conversation that we will have once you apply, then we will decide what package is the best for you and what payment options are the best for you.
Sure.
So now in this way, I'm listening and I feel, well, there are payment options. Okay, that might feel a bit more affordable. And I'm saying, I'm not making a payment right now. I'm filling up an application form.
Yeah.
And you will say that you have a deal for people that will sign the application form right now.
Right.
Because you want them not to say, oh yeah, leave me the application form and I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
When someone's, I often speak even at other events, and I got the application form, and they will say, "Oh, I don't have time right now." I say, "Well, if you don't fill up the application form right now, I will not be able to give you the deal. I'm giving the other people because I don't want to chase."
Yeah, which is fair enough, and yeah, which I don't want to chase either.
Exactly, and I'm happy to chase for payments. But
yeah, exactly, but not for a new client.
But not for an application form. That's different, and also will be a sign of their commitment there and then. So this is, in my opinion, one of the ways that you can immediately get the clients there and then. And there are then two ways in which you can approach once you have the application form done. One is to have the sales conversation there and then. So let's say the workshop finishes at 5. You give yourself a 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 to then have like a waiting list, and people will wait for their turn for their call or for their meeting with you. If you are the only one doing it, I will not recommend that because someone can wait 2 hours, and also sometimes you are going into such deep subjects that a conversation sometimes, like, people will open up, will cry, and then there are the other people waiting in the back. Like, it doesn't create that safe environment. So my recommendation is then to say that the calls needs to be done within 48 hours.
Sure.
Because you need still to give them a time limit. Otherwise, 2 months later, they're still there.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's about the process. How does it sound to you so far, if you have to put this process in place?
No, it sounds very good because I've already seen what happens when that process isn't in place, especially with the timeline. So, for example, I've had clients in the past where on the contract, and it's something that I'm doing with clients moving forward, that there is going to be a cutoff point. Because if I've taken your money, I don't want it to be with me forever and ever, amen, because you're not focused on your coaching. So I'm realizing, or I've realized, that having that time scale defined is crucial, whether it's in the application process, or whether even after you've signed to work with me, then I would expect that your coaching should be done within a definite period of time. Unless, of course, I'm on some kind of retainer and you can contact me as and when you like. Because I don't feel good knowing that, you've paid X amount of money and you haven't finished your coaching. It's not great for me. So, yeah, definitely I can see the value in what you're saying.
Fantastic. And I feel it's also very aligned with the way, knowing you, is very aligned with the way you work with people and the space that you create for them. So I think that this will be a better solution than a get it now clause, which most of the time is very masculine and which works, but some people works for some people and not for others. So for you, I think the application clause will work incredibly well as a character, because it becomes a conversation. It's very conversational. It's less buy now.
Yeah. And my area of work is quite emotional.
Yeah.
So I need to also be sensitive to that. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
So now there are a few things that we still need to put in place. So this, remember that every time you do an event, before the event, you will have printed your applications. So when you're making the pitch, then yourself or someone else in the room, if you have someone helping you out during the event, it's better if you have someone else, because it takes, like, the moment you give away the form, it takes you from, perceptionally speaking, from speaker to assistant. And at the end of the day, it's a perception game here. Now, if there are 5 people in the room, that's fine. You will not need an assistant, and it doesn't create a lack of a low. Actually, it would be weird if you have an assistant for 5 people giving the form, but it can work. If you have a room with 15, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, then at this point it's better to have someone else, because then so you can be focused on saying what the program is about, how the application works, what the process is, instead of shuffling with papers and oh no, let me go back, just give me a second, I'll go back and take my paper. It all breaks the conversation that you're having with them.
Yeah.
And then there are a few things as well. So you said that you mentioned at the beginning that there is an option to work with you. How do you say it?
I say it very much like I would go through what they're going to be experiencing throughout the day. And I said, it's going to obviously throw up a few things for people in the room, but don't, be too surprised if you don't get all your answers now. I said, because you won't. It is only 4 hours for, looking at stuff that has gone over, an average of at least 25 years. So therefore, needing that extra time, I am available to do one-on-one coaching with you as a result of whatever shows up for you from this course. So I kind of just put it out there.
That's brilliant.
That they are, just to manage the expectation that you are not going to get all the answers here.
That's perfect, and it's very beautifully said. So from now on, add as well that at the end, you will give out application forms for people to apply on the coaching one-to-one when they see the value that they receive from the workshop.
Correct. Yes, that would be good.
Because then in the back of their mind, it doesn't come as a surprise.
Yes.
You already mentioned there's going to be an application form for this. So when you give out the application form, it doesn't create any awkwardness.
Yes.
Particularly because you're running a small environment.
Yeah. I think that's really helpful.
Perfect. And then now is time for the close. What do you think are some of the things that your the clients that you work with, they constantly need, they're constantly looking for?
I think it would be to understand why they feel that they have failed at certain things. And a lot of them feel quite stagnant. Like they're repeating the same things over and over again, but then they're quite unaware as to why. But I also feel that they're very unaware of how much control they have over not repeating those same mistakes. So just helping them to kind of come out of themselves and hold a mirror up and say, okay, I did da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I understand this is the reason why I did it. So I need to deal with the reason. What a lot of I find that people are doing is looking at the action. How do they stop the action without going back? And looking, there is a reason as to why you respond in this way, or there's a reason why you speak in this way, and therefore let's look at the reason. Stop looking at the words that are just coming out of your mouth, or the physical actions that you're taking, that you're being responsible for. Let's look behind that. And I think it's the looking behind that a lot of them have needed to kind of find out.
And what is that they want to have in terms of what is because what you're describing right now is important because it's part of the process. But as human being, we don't want the process, we want the results. And
Absolutely.
we justify the process to get the result that we want.
Yeah.
Right? So what are the results that they want? What is the opposite of the situation where they are in?
I think control. What I think ultimately what they're looking for is control. I think they want to be in control of whatever situation it is that throws up for them, that those issues are throwing up for them. They want to be the ones to determine how their life is, plays out, as opposed to life playing them, if that makes sense.
Perfect. So one is control. Brilliant. What else do they want?
Fulfillment. I think they just want to be happier within themselves.
Okay. And one more thing.
Control, fulfillment, and validation. I think a lot of them don't feel valued. They don't see their worth. A lot of them don't see their worth. I think would be probably one of the main things. They really do not see the importance of who they are.
So I want you to write those three things down. If you can find somewhere to write. Because you are looking at, you said, control, fulfillment, and knowing their worth.
Yeah.
So when you're doing an application close as well, but even when you're doing any other types of close, it's always really important to focus on what it is that they're going to get rather than the process.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, as long as you're going to give me the results that you want and you're not getting me to do something which is illegal or I'm not really comfortable, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to trust you that you know your stuff. So when you're making the application close, I want you to really emphasize the fact that by working with you, now they've started the process.
Right.
And then if they want in their life to have in a sustainable way, to feel in control, to be fulfilled, and also to understand and know their worth, so that they can apply for better opportunities, they can have a better career, they can have a better business. So now you got to bring it in a tangible way, right? Because control, fulfillment is what we want emotionally, but now we have to take it a step further and justify it physically. So when you are doing the application, you're going to say, now, by working with me one-to-one, you will be able to be fully in control, to be fulfilled, and to fully understand your worth so that you can have a better relationship with yourself, so that you can apply for better job opportunities, have a better business. So these are the things that they want physically. So then now we will make what is that they feel emotionally will make them feel real.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we are human beings and we respond to material things.
Yeah.
And then you are going to segue into, now, because the programs that I create are bespoke, and that's how I'm different from everyone else. So then you're going to create a comparison there. Saying a lot of other people will just give you an off-the-shelf program. That's not the way I work.
Yeah.
So now you're making a statement that makes you even more attractive, because it means, oh wow, she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
Then the way I work, I don't believe in off-the-shelf programs. I work in a bespoke way. I'm going to create a path which is perfect for you. And this is why, to work together, I need you to fill up an application form. Because I said, this is the beginning of the journey. You need to complete this journey if you want to feel in control, to feel fulfilled, and to fully value your worth. And this is a process, and I want you to be with you in this process. So fill up the application form, and then we are going to discuss how we can work together. Now, different packages that I run, they range from this price to this price. But then the reason why I'm also giving an application form, so then we can discuss what is the best package for you and what is the best option for you, and as well what is the best payment option.
Yeah.
And then you will give them time to fill out the application form. So this is important. Now everything here is recorded, so then you can listen to the words. I don't want you to use my words. I want you to understand the concept behind this.
No, I get it completely.
And then make it yours, because at the end, you know
I'm
what.
I'm just putting down like those little points, but I get it completely. It's already working in my head.
Brilliant, fantastic.
It's really working. Because I'm thinking, I've got my next event that I'm planning in September, and this has come at the right time. And it's something that I also will feel very comfortable. And you're right, you do know me, and it's the truth. So it makes it easy to come out of my mouth. You know me. If it's not true,
Yep.
If it's not me, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
But saying that it's bespoke and it's tailored, I was already on that path that this block thing is not working. I have people that present some very deep issues for me. Like there's a lady that I'm going to be working with. She can hardly leave the house because of depression. However, when she attended one of my workshops, she found a lot of value in it, and somebody has, referred her to me, and I hope to be working with her. That's very different from somebody coming to me and saying, look, I've just split up with my boyfriend and I'm feeling a little bit and I just need some confidence. They are two completely different things.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're looking for 9 sessions each, I shouldn't be charging the same price, because I know that I'm going to have to work very hard with this other person, and I will be working very differently. I'm put it this way, I'm going to be pulling from different skill sets. So it takes more out of me to work here than to work there. And I think that should be reflective. So I get you completely.
Fantastic. So then when you're making the call to action to give them to fill up the application form, give them time. Give them at least 5-6 minutes to fill it up. Don't make it too long. Maximum 1 page front and back, A4, or even 1 page A4.
Yeah.
So then they can finish in about 5-10 minutes for the filling up the application form. And as well, you don't want to do it as a last thing, because if you're using feedback forms, that's one of the reasons why you don't see feedbacks from the GTeX trainings, because the last thing that we do is the call to action.
Right. So
what happens if you do the feedback form and the application form at the same time? Now they're confused.
Sure.
And I've seen this I'm saying this because it's a mistake that can happen. It's very easy I made this mistake. A lot of people I'm seeing they make, because they're like, okay, it's the application form, it's the feedback form, fill them up. So now I'm not anymore in buying mode. I'm in giving you feedback about your event. So now my brain is thinking about what went well, what can improve.
Yes, exactly.
And now I'm thinking about what can improve, and now I've got to buy from you. So you're actually taking the buyer away from the buying process.
Very true.
So if you have a break in between, then that's a good moment to do the application form.
Right.
So then let's say that 2 hours in you have a break. Then at that point you can fill up the application, because at the point they already have 2 hours of value, so they will have understood. If you do it over the 3 hours mark, is even better because they add more value. But don't leave it as the last thing if you're using the feedback forms.
Sure.
Or otherwise, just completely drop the feedback forms, end with the application, and then send them a feedback form via email or if that's important for you. So these are the things that I'm sure that if you do them with your personality, your charisma, the way you speak, and the product that you have, you're gonna crush it with this part.
I hope so.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will, because what was missing, you were doing the right thing, was just part of the process missing. Because you are one of these very lucky people that you are very attractive, which means that your people will see you and somehow they want to start to have a conversation with you. They will follow what you said, and you know that. You know that. You are a natural leader. Yeah, one of the good ones. But it's true. If you think about the work that you've been able to do with your charity just in a few years, people follow what you say for a whole bunch of different reasons. And that's something that is really difficult to develop. Or like you have it, or if you don't have it, you can train it really hard, but you are in the lucky minority of people that someone will see you, will trust you immediately, and then will follow what you say. So then that's why I'm just putting these processes in place. You are more focused on the sales process to happen, and that's it. Cool. I think we're done then.
Brilliant. That's excellent.
What
I'm
was
really happy.
the biggest value for you in this conversation?
I think the closing process, because I've done everything up to that point, which is the most important bit, the closing process. How do I couch it in a way that is done with integrity, is sincere, and actually takes me to the next step? So that's great for me.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
It's been a great call, and
Thank you.
I will talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Thank
Ladies and
you. Take
gentlemen,
care.
thank you very much for listening or watching. And make sure you subscribe to the show if you haven't subscribed yet. And if you want me to help you with your pitch and selling from the stage, just click the application form below, and you will jump on a call with our team, and we'll see how we can help you turn your event into cash. I'll see you next time. Bye.